you only live once, or also known as YOLO, that was the modern version of the Latin phrase carpe diem, meaning that we only have one life and hence we should just do the things we want to do no matter how crazy it sounds. Now, the Gen Zs actually have their own version of YOLO. Have you guys heard of it before? It's called Do It for the Plot. But I'm a millennial, so I will just stick to YOLO. Now, YOLO is a great way to encourage people to take chances, take risks, try out new things. But if one goes around and YOLO recklessly, it can lead to very bad consequences. So I want to introduce to you guys a modified version of YOLO, a calculated YOLO that has completely changed my life. Okay, so we shall go back in time. It was the year 2019. My co-founder and I, we were on a snorkeling trip in Cebu, the Philippines. I was a full-time science teacher, a career which I absolutely loved, and my co-founder was a full-time video producer. So as we were waiting for the little bumboat to arrive, I picked up a dead coral skeleton from the ground and I started sharing science facts about it. Yeah, so I swear the girl in the photo, that's me. I'm just a little bit older now. So I was very excited. Being my nerdy self, I took up the coral and I went like, hey, look at this dead coral. There's little holes around it. It's known as corallites. That's where little organisms known as polyps live in. And in the ocean, they will extend their feeding tentacles out, wave it in the water, and catch any floating prey. So my co-founder, he was filming me at the site, the whole entire scenario, with his little GoPro. And when we reviewed the footage together, we realized, wow, the video is really fun, yet it's educational. It is something we have yet to see in our local social media scene. And he asked the golden question, shall we start a channel and post more of such videos? It sounded a little crazy, but of course I said, why not? Because YOLO, right? At that point of time, I was a little bit scared because it seems like it would take a lot of my time and my effort, but I knew that he had the technical skills of creating videos while I have the content knowledge for science and nature. So with all of these considerations, we had a calculated YOLO decision and we went ahead with the idea. But more importantly, an idea will just remain that, an idea, unless I take action to turn it into a reality. So that's how my character, Biogirl MJ, was born. Yeah, that's me. However, as somebody who didn't have Instagram until 2018, entering the world of social media and content creation was something out of my comfort zone. Thankfully, our first ever video, published on a Facebook page with 0 followers, had 14,000 views. Aha! That was the moment where it dawned upon me that my channel could have the potential to create something good, great even, something really impactful. So I got extremely motivated, I put in a lot more effort to create high quality content, and I published my videos more regularly on a bi-weekly basis. The comments were extremely positive as well. People really enjoyed the refreshing way we present information out there without feeling like they were being lectured. So we shared knowledge in a light-hearted and bite-sized manner that is both educational yet entertaining at the same time. Our videos managed to reach out to not just kids, but the youths, the teenagers, the working adults, parents, families, and even the elderly. So all of these results really reinforced that my calculated YOLO had paid off. Then things started to get a little bit more serious when clients started to come in and we started getting opportunities to do paid projects on our platforms. And hence we started tinkering with the idea of, perhaps we can become entrepreneurs and run our channel full-time as independent content creators. At first, I was pretty much sitting on the fence and honestly a little afraid of the idea because I had a full-time job, which I love, and it's basically what we Asians like to call an iron rice bowl. And if any of you have Asian parents out there, you know that you don't give up on your iron rice bowl at all. No, we don't do that. On top of that, I also wasn't confident enough in having a consistent inflow of projects to sustain my livelihood as an independent content creator back then. This all changed when a pretty well-known creative agency approached us. I will not say who, but let's just call them Agency X. So we had a fancy lunch at a fancy restaurant with Agency X, and they presented us with a deal. They promised us at least 2 client projects per month in return for better rates. Now, this deal is really important because it will be able to financially sustain both my co-founder and I, and we will be able to finally run our channel full-time as content creators. We also saw that as our golden ticket out of our daily 9-to-5 jobs. So, with all of these considerations, I made a calculated YOLO and sent in my resignation letter soon after. The promise of at least 2 projects a month, paid projects by the way, was a key safety net that really allowed me to take the leap of faith and finally transition into doing something that I love full-time. Or so I thought. Alas, Agency X did not deliver its promise at all. I was pretty pissed. I was really pissed, but that's not the point. The point is that my calculated YOLO, this time round, did not pay off. And while I initially saw this as a failure, it eventually became a learning experience for me. So I analyzed the whole situation, I figured out what our oversights were, the SOPs we should have taken, the safeguards we should have in place the next time round we are faced with a similar situation. So after realizing that I got punked, basically, I was faced with 2 decisions. I could return back to the education sector and continue teaching because there were opportunities available there, or I could work on building my channel and see how far I can bring it. No prize in guessing which decision I made in the end, but the key is in the why and the how. I was honestly considering going back to teaching again because at that point in time, I was really anxious when I don't get a monthly salary. I'm sure you guys felt that way at some point of time, right? But things all changed when I met this girl, Naomi. So Naomi is the one right beside me. She was 11 back then when we took this photo, and right now she's 13 years old. She was a really big fan of the channel. She watches every single one of my videos, and we even head out together to explore our nature areas, to learn more about our wildlife, our biodiversity, the ecology of Singapore. And afterwards, she was so inspired by what she has learned and gained from all these trips that she set up her school's very first eco club, because her school didn't have one back then. And she was so passionate and she wanted to share all of her knowledge to her peers and inspire all of them as well. So this was a really pivotal moment for me because I realized how much of a real-life impact my channel could have, especially to the younger generations out there, and how it can create this ripple effect that can really lead to big waves of change. Random people on the streets will just come up to me to thank me for the videos that I've created. Families will be watching the videos together as a bonding session. Teachers will be sharing their videos in classrooms to their students to make learning fun. And the elderly are exploring our nature areas after learning about them through my channel. So I steered away from my initial decision to go back into the education sector and instead decided to run my channel full-time, head-on, because I remembered why I started, I could see where I'm heading towards, and I could envision the potential impact it could have on society. So, with all the prior lessons learned from my previous calculated YOLOs, I gathered my courage and did yet another calculated YOLO, this time round with a proper plan, backup plans, and a sprinkle of wariness. And with that, 2 years has since passed and my calculated YOLO has paid off. I currently have a small team pushing out edutainment content almost every single day to a followership of more than 500,000 people all around the globe. We won MediaCorp's Content Creator of the Year Award 2023, and we even had our own wildlife documentary series that was aired live just a few months ago, both on television and online. We also diversified our business by providing different types of digital content, providing physical programs such as nature-guided tours, workshops, learning journeys, school activities, so that we can reach out to more people and create greater impact. Oh, we also publish our very own educational comic book series. So yes, it's a pretty exciting time for me. All in all, there's good and bad to YOLO, and while there is no right answer, we want to make sure that every YOLO is a calculated YOLO that is backed by a lot of planning, data, and experience so that you can focus on turning your ideas into reality without worrying too much of the consequences. So whenever you're in doubt, remember why you started it in the first place, remember where you're heading towards, remember the potential impact that your business could create, and this will all help you make a calculated YOLO that you will not regret. Thank you very much.